In today's video, we're going to talk about what you need to know before moving to Gulf Shores, Alabama. We're going to touch on everything from the busy season to cost of living and the investment market here. Let's dive in. What's up, guys? I'm Wes Harless with Well House Real Estate, coming to you from the Alabama Gulf Coast. I'd love to give you a better feel for this paradise on earth that we get to call home, Gulf Shores, Alabama. Also, we're coming out with more videos all the time, so don't forget to like and subscribe for more content on Alabama Gulf Coast living. All right, let's get into our first point, which is understanding the busy seasons. That's right, as you can imagine, Gulf Shores is very seasonal. We have a ton of tourists coming in the spring and summer, and then we get a lot of snowbirds in the winter. So you may be wondering how it affects daily life and what there is to do outside of the busy months. Well, we're gonna get into all of that. As an actual resident of this area, you'll start to get used to the seasons and adjust your lifestyle accordingly. Tourists are gonna be coming here from all over the country, and they're gonna be filling up our shops, our restaurants, and obviously the roads. But as you live here, you start to get used to finding the secret spots and avoiding the high congested areas to where it's really not that bad. Most of us locals will do our beach going, our boating, and our exploration in the off season, like spring and fall. Not only is it less congested, but the weather is perfect. With that being said, Gulf Shores is doing a pretty good job of bringing in other activities for locals to enjoy year-round, such as concerts, festivals, and other community gatherings, making this the perfect place to put down roots all year long. Now let's get on to the next point. My next point is cost of living. Most people assume that Gulf Shores is a really expensive place to live because we've got the beaches and the cool lifestyle. But all things considered, it's really not that bad. The overall cost of living in Gulf Shores is 4% lower than the national average. Yes, if you buy a house on the beach, you're gonna pay good money for it. But in the rest of Gulf Shores, the average home price is only $452,000. Very much in line with what you see across the country, and a lot cheaper than what you'll see if you go over into Florida. At the end of the day, when it comes to a beautiful beach town like this, you really can't beat it. My next point is our small town vibe. If you've never been here, then I'm sure you're a little shocked by that, but it's definitely true. Gulf Shores is a small town through and through, especially in the off-season months. With a population of just 17,000 full-time residents, it still feels like Alabama. We've got things like farmers markets filled with local produce, mom and pop restaurants, and the city of Gulf Shores itself is always hosting events for locals so you can get out and get to know your neighbors. Also, locals tend to look out for each other, whether it's helping each other after a storm, supporting local businesses, or just waving when you pass by. It's a tight-knit community here for sure. And that sense of belonging is one of the big reasons that my family decided to move here and put down roots. It's the kind of place where the lady at the local coffee shop remembers your order, or your neighbors bring you a plate of cookies when you move in. Okay, let's talk about the weather. Now, 90% of the time in Gulf Shores, it's sunshiny and beautiful outside. And that's a big reason why people love this area. But if you're gonna be out and about on the town, you're gonna wanna make sure to bring an umbrella with you, because afternoon thunderstorms are very common and they'll pop up, dump an inch of rain on you before moving on. So if you're gonna move to the area, make sure to get yourself an umbrella as well as a good pair of sunglasses. Gulf Shores, along with the majority of the Gulf Coast, is fairly tropical. We get really hot summers, with some days being over 100 degrees, but also our winters are really mild. The temperature rarely gets below 30 degrees. And if you're anything like me and my wife, that's a compromise we're more than happy to make. I'll take really hot summers over brutally cold winters every day. All right, now on to our next point, which is being a resident or being an investor. Should you live here or just invest? Almost every time I hear somebody talk about buying a property in this area, it's in the context of an investment property. In fact, that's what brought my wife and I here in the first place. But then when we got here, we discovered what a beautiful place it is to live as a full-time resident and to raise a family. So you don't have to choose one or the other. If you want to buy some property here and make a lot of money, you can do that. If you want to put down roots and raise a family and have great access to extracurricular activities and education, it is a perfect place for that as well. We wouldn't want to live anywhere else. There you have it, guys. That's everything you need to know before moving to Gulf Shores, Alabama. I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you have any questions or if you're thinking about moving to anywhere along the Gulf Coast, give me a call or shoot me a text at the number on the screen. I absolutely love hearing from you. In fact, that's my favorite part of the job. And if you like what you're seeing, don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos. We've got more of them coming out all the time, and we'll see you on the next one.